guys, today I thought I'd make a video about my process of how I draw stuff. This is the one that I use most of the time. So usually I start off with sketching it, and if it's something that's symmetrical, I try to use a symmetrical tool in Krita. I'm sure other drawing softwares have them. You know, if you have the tools, you should use it because it makes it a lot easier. So I try to get it as accurate as possible, because if the foundation is strong, the coloring process gets a lot easier and it makes the end product look a lot nicer. So the first thing I do is I usually try to block in the main color. So I look at the reference picture and I see what are the main colors and I try to block them in. And then I get the soft round brush and the opacity I put it lower, and then I usually try to blend it in. But what I'm doing is I'm just putting the base colors in right now, and I've put a background. I've made the background grey so the colors, you can see it a lot better, because if it's on white then the whites won't pop, but if you got on a grey the whites will pop, and it's a lot easier to see. So I'm doing the same for the strawberry. I'm also putting the main colors in. I'm putting where the highlights might be, and then I'm putting the greens in. What I like to do then is I put the opacity for the line layer where I've done the line drawing. I put it on half or less than that, so I can see the actual painting a lot more and I can be a lot more accurate. So what I'm doing is, instead of blending it, I'm getting a soft round brush, putting the opacity to half, I'm putting it less, and then I'm going back and forth with the colors to blend it in. Because there is a blending tool in Krita, but I don't like to use it because it doesn't make it look nice and flowy, and it doesn't have that richness to it. So what I do is I just put it on half, and then I put the light color over the dark color, and then the bit where it's like blending in, or the color where it's half, I choose that color and then I go back. And then that will make it nice and blended out, especially if it's a drawing or the sunset. If it's a sunset, I would usually use the gradient and then do over it. But that's usually what I do for things that I have a nice gradient. And I'm going to be doing that for the strawberry as well. So I'm just blending the colours back and forth for the strawberry and getting a nice gradient and making it look nice and round and 3D. So as you can see, the process usually goes back and forth. I put a colour in, I take it out, put a different colour on top. You have to go back and forth. You have to not be scared of making mistakes. And I'm basically just cleaning up the edges to make it all nice. So what I'm doing now is I'm adding the highlights. But what I've done is I've put it on a group. So I've got a group for strawberry. I've put the main shape on the bottom, and anything I put on top, I'm going to put alpha lock on it. So it will only draw in that shape. So it makes it a lot easier. So I won't get out the lines, and I don't have to be careful. I can just draw wherever and it will do the whole work for me. It will keep it in that space. So I'm putting the seeds and I'm putting the highlights in for the seeds as well. And make sure that the seeds or anything that's in the shadow is usually going to be darker than the stuff that's in the light area. Even though it is the same thing, it's going to look different. So just make sure that you get that right. So it's the same for the leaves. You just try to get a good blend of everything, and you try to blend it in by using the brushes with a lower opacity, working back and forth. I'm starting to shade in the glass. A trick that I have is I like to shade something with a half the opacity so the background shows through, and then I like to pick that color and then color over that in full opacity. I don't think I did it in this one, but that's what I usually like to do, because then it gives that transparent look without the colour being transparent on the layer, because that will make it harder when you're trying to colour in and you've got layer lock on. I decided to put the green background in the back, so it makes it a lot easier for me to see if the glass looks correct or not. Because against the grey background, the green's going to look, but against the green background, it's going to look fine. So just make sure you realise the context. So basically I'm working on the bottom part of the glass right now. This bit took me a while because it has a lot of colours in it. Yeah. So what I'm doing is I've made another layer on the top. Instead of drawing the same layer that I had the juice, I'm drawing on another layer to add the reflection on the glass. Because if something's too dark or too light, I can change the opacity. Make sure you don't jump in at the start to add the highlights, because if you don't have the shading already, then the highlights isn't going to do anything. And what I'm doing now is I'm just getting a brush, getting a low opacity, getting a like an orangey colour, because that's usually the light that the sun gives off. With colour dodge, I'm going over in a different layer where the sun would be reflecting and showing and glowing, and that's a nice effect that you can add, but do it right at the end and use it sparingly. So I hope that helped, and I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys again next time. Goodbye.